welcome. I'm Nick Ponte. You're looking at my picture there. There's my business partner, Tom Gaddis. We are the two guys that make up the Offline Sharks community. And you're here today because you clicked on an ad that will allow you to gain some insider access as to how we are landing and picking up clients like clockwork. So our strategy is simple, right? If you look at any of our products, any of our past products, you'll see that we generally follow the same outline, the same strategy. And what it is we identify somebody that has a problem, right? They have a problem and we offer to solve that problem. And so what we really actually call this method is a foot in the door service. And we didn't invent the foot in the door service. We've just been getting really good over the years at identifying them in the digital marketing landscape and fulfilling and solving those services. So if you want the real definition of a foot in the door, it's a tactic that aims at getting a person to agree to a larger request by having them agree to a modest request first. So I hope that makes sense. We're offering to solve a problem, which really takes minimal amount of work on our end. These are the services that we like to prospect with. And once we solve that problem, we are now positioned as an expert in the eyes of the prospect, and we are in the position to offer other marketing services where we make much more money. So that's how we prospect. That's all of our training, all of our products. They're all around real-world foot-in-the-door services that we share with our community. So I'm going to share some strategies that's going to help you today to land your first client. And these strategies may have just been sitting under your nose this whole time. And they're super effective. They're proven. I'm really happy to be able to share these with you today because I've landed clients in all of these ways, and we have a bunch of students that are actually landing their clients following these steps as well. So we're going to hop right into it. So the first strategy that I'm going to share with you is all about speed, site speed. And we're going to get into as our other foot in the doors later on. But the first one I'm going to share is about speed. So recently, about 6 months ago, Google issued what they called their speed update. And what it means is that anybody that has a slow loading website in the eyes of Google, they will be placed lower in the search results than their competition. So what that means for a local business is that they are going to lose business if their website is slow. So I hope you're following me in that this is our first issue, right? If we can identify that someone has a slow loading website, then they have an issue and we offer to solve it. So how do you find somebody that has a slow loading website? Well, it's pretty simple actually. Google has a tool out there, Google Page Speed Test. All you have to do is do a simple Google search and you can open it up and type in a website and identify if they have a slow loading website. So let's just go back to Google real quick. We'll look for a roofer here on Maui. That's where I'm located. And we will pull the first website that we find, right? MauiRoofingContractor.com. What a weird looking website. Okay, well, there may be more on this website or this prospect than we think, even after this page speed optimization. So all I have to do is put their website address into the Google tester tool, and Google is now going out and testing their website to see how fast it loads. So once you find a business that has a slow loading website, like this one for example, it's only got a 23, and you can see according to Google that they're on the bottom end of page speed, right? So it would be fairly easy to reach out to this business and let them know about Google's new update and how if I were to be able to fix it for them, they would be able to gain more business, gain more customers, and actually maybe not be penalized, which could totally be happening right now according to the update, right? So that's a really simple way to identify somebody that needs your help and you could potentially be working with them. The door strategy that I want to share with you is all centered around security. And what I mean with security is another Google update. So again, not long ago, Google issued an update where any website that was not marked secure with an HTTPS website would automatically be issued a warning across the browser that would say this site is not secure. So you can see this image here on the left. And if someone were to type or be on a website at the top of the screen in their address bar there, if they didn't have one of these security certificates installed, the person browsing the website would see this not secure sign right at the top of it. And for a local business, especially e-commerce or somebody selling a service, who would want to put in their credit card information to a website that says not secure at the top? So this could be a huge issue for local businesses, right? If they're not secure with an SSL certificate, they could potentially be losing a ton of business. So what we did is we identified this as a great foot in the door strategy. So I'm going to jump over to a recent Google search, Maui Painter, right? And this website here, Absolute Painting, when I go to the website, I've noticed that there is no padlock in the browser. They don't have an SSL certificate. Another way of checking if a website has an SSL certificate is if you just go to Google and type in SSL checker. There's a tool here, it's called SSL Hopper. And you can actually type in an address and it will check to see if a website has a certificate. Now, installing an SSL certificate is extremely easy. Most times, all it really means is to click a button. And business owners do not know which button to click. So what we do is we get paid to know which button to click. Oftentimes, we charge $97 for this foot in the door strategy. So we identify this problem. We reach out to the person or the prospect. We offer to let them know about the warning, the unsecure website, how it's affecting their business. We let them know that we'd be able to fix it for them for $97. Once we fulfill this service, we're in the position to offer other marketing services. So I hope you're following me with this, okay? The next foot in the door strategy that I'm going to share with you is centered around Google. So what do I mean by that? What do I mean by a foot in the door strategy centered around Google? Almost all of our foot in the door strategies are centered around Google, right? So far, at least. And we have a lot that are not, but we really like to capitalize on these little Google foot in the door strategies because they come across our desks so often and it creates a gap in the marketplace. So let's talk about Google for a second. If you're a local business and you're not listed on Google, or the incorrect information for your business is listed on Google, you are missing out on a ton of business. Wouldn't you agree? So let's find a couple businesses in Google that are not capitalizing on their Google listing. So when you do a search for a local business and you look in their map section, see all these little pins here? These are all businesses, right? And each business has to either add their pin on the map or claim a pin for their business if it's already been there. So sometimes Google will scrape data and add a pin for you without you doing it yourself if your business is known, internationally. So what that has created for marketers like us is a unique foot in the door strategy. So what we can do is identify businesses that have been added to Google but have not yet claimed their business listing. And by not claiming their business listing, they're not optimizing their listing. They potentially have the incorrect phone number or name or address of their business in Google, which means they miss out on tons of clients and probably revenue. And they don't have their proper website set up to their business listing. And as you know, when you're traveling around or you're looking for services on Google, if you find a business that doesn't have the correct information or you can't communicate with them, you're not going to buy their services or hire them, right? So if you do a Google search, if you want to identify one of these businesses, all you have to do is a simple Google search, right? So I've already typed in Maui Roofer, and if I click on these listings here that I find, what I'm looking for is a business that will say, here it is, own this business. So Ram Pacific Roofing and Waterproofing. Anytime there's a listing here that says own this business, that means that this business has not claimed their business listing. You can actually see that they do not have a website here, right? It says add a website, add the business hours. Don't you think that this business would like to have their website here? Don't you think that they would want to display their business hours if they even knew that they could do this? Maybe they don't even know. Maybe if I call these guys and I let them know on what they're missing out, they would jump on the opportunity, right? Maybe they don't even have a website. So that in itself is our strategy unfolding for you before your eyes, right? We offer to claim the business and optimize their business listing for them. Oh, you don't have a website? Well, let me build one for you. And that's how you can make a little more money, right? You use the foot in the door strategy to upsell further marketing services. So I hope you guys enjoyed those three ways to identify businesses that need your help. Now, a lot of people have the question, how do I contact or how do I communicate to those businesses? And you can either call them, you can go to their place of business and reach out to them in person and speak to them. And a lot of people, maybe they're not comfortable calling or maybe not comfortable showing up in person. What we like to do is reach out through email. And if you are interested in learning on how we reach out through email, we've actually put together a system that increases your chances, that makes email work. So a lot of people struggle with that. And if you're interested in increasing your chances with that, you'll want to click the link below the video. And I wanted to actually share a testimonial that I got this morning from my buddy Kurt Best. So Kurt used the site speed as a foot in the door. And his testimonial says, "Hey gang, I recently reached out to a former client using the email template from the training. I showed them their site speed test result. They hired me for $197 to fix it for them. I used the suggested outsourcer and made a profit of $128. I didn't do anything other than send an email to the business and buy the gig from the outsourcer, all in maybe 15 minutes of work." So this is an incredible testimonial of a foot in the door strategy working well with email. So we have dozens of testimonials like this come in every single day. We've got a fantastic community of offline sharks in a private Facebook group. This image actually shows that we have almost 5,700, but the actual number that we have there now is over 6,000 members in our private Offline Sharks Facebook community. We've just got a ton of people that are in there taking action. They're in the trenches, just crushing it with this local marketing thing. And I know that when you can be doing this business, it can get lonely. You can have a lot of questions, and that's what this group and this community is there for. We're just sharing our success, our failures, our strategies, things that are working so that you don't have to go at this thing alone. So again, if you're interested in using these foot in the door type strategies and prospecting through email, click the button below. We're going to help you get your first client or maybe your next client and increase your business efforts today.